Hello, I'm Father Anthony Gramlich from the Marians of the Immaculate Conception. Welcome to Jubilee Journey Through Lent. During this holy penitential season, join me as I suggest ways to make your own observance of Lent more fruitful and spiritually rewarding, especially during this Jubilee year, the Year of Hope. Last time, I talked about making good Lenten resolutions to practice the three pillars: prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. The first two are rather straightforward. Try to go to daily Mass, for example, and remember to abstain from meat on Fridays. But what about almsgiving? Well, it's more than just making a financial donation to your parish or favorite charity, much as these are needed. It's also about a sacrificial effort to love your neighbor by performing the works of mercy. The Catechism of the Catholic Church tells us, the works of mercy are charitable actions for the aid of our neighbor in his or her spiritual and bodily necessities. And our Lord told St. Faustina, I demand from you deeds of mercy, which are to arise out of love for me. You are to show mercy to your neighbors always and everywhere. You must not shrink from this or try to excuse or absolve yourself from it. I am giving you 3 ways of exercising mercy toward your neighbor. The first by deed, the second by word, the third by prayer. And these 3 degrees contain the fullness of mercy, and it is an unquestionable proof of love for me. By this means the soul glorifies and pays reverence to my mercy. In a word, it's about offering hope. Let's look at the Corporal Works of Mercy. There are 7. First, feed the hungry. Second, give drink to the thirsty. Third, clothe the naked. Fourth, shelter the homeless. Fifth, visit those in prison. Sixth, comfort the sick. Seventh, bury the dead. In this episode, let's look at the first 4. On the surface, at least, feeding the hungry and giving drink to the thirsty seems fairly straightforward. Making donations to the local food bank or helping at a local soup kitchen. We can also petition our politicians to make the fight against world hunger a higher priority. The same goes for clean water. We can support organizations like Eucharistic Apostles of the Divine Mercy and Water for Mercy, which fund efforts to provide clean water to the poor around the world, especially in Africa and the Philippines. Clothing the naked and sheltering the homeless. Here again, we can support local policies of local and national governments to provide an adequate safety net for the poor and the homeless. You can also empty your closets of all those clothes you never wear and donate to Goodwill. And there are well-established groups that specialize in relieving the problem of homelessness. Why not see if either Habitat for Humanity or Covenant House is operating in your area and find out what you can do to lend a hand. Remember that our Lord himself started his life as a homeless child, born in a manger because there was no room at the inn. And often throughout his ministry, he had nowhere to lay his head. He must have a special compassion for those who have had to share so closely in his experience of periodic homelessness. A final note, those of you who are working hard each day to earn the money to provide food and drink, clothing and shelter for your own families, and those of you who cook and clean at home, already practicing these corporal works of mercy, at least outwardly. Why not practice them inwardly, now as well from the heart, not grudgingly or merely out of routine, but with compassion and love for your spouse and children, doing all to the glory of God and giving thanks to God the Father for providing for all your needs. In this way, as St. Paul wrote, the simplest daily chore becomes a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, a true spiritual worship. More next week. Until then, remember that the holy season of Lent is an opportunity. Let's observe it wisely. God bless you.